They say money can't buy happiness. But that $300 ticket you're about to get could have easily covered a full month of gas. And here's the worst part. Most drivers don't even realize they're breaking the law until those red and blue lights suddenly light up their rearview mirror. Today, I'm breaking down 17 car accessories that are actually illegal, even though thousands of drivers install them every day without a second thought. These mods are responsible for massive fines, denied insurance claims, voided warranties, and in some cases, serious safety risks. And stay until the end, because I'll explain how one harmless modification ended up costing a driver over $18,000 out of pocket. Let's start with one almost everyone gets wrong. Number 17. Windshield tint. You'd think a small strip of tint on your windshield wouldn't matter, but police officers are trained to spot illegal windshield tint from hundreds of feet away. In most states, only a narrow sun strip at the very top of the windshield is allowed. For example, New York permits tint on just the top 6 inches. Go past that and you're already driving illegally. Other states are even stricter. Pennsylvania, for instance, doesn't allow windshield tint at all. That's why blindly copying what you see on other cars can get expensive fast. The reason law enforcement cares so much is simple: visibility. During bright daylight, tint might seem harmless, but at dawn and dusk, when accidents spike, that tint dramatically reduces your ability to see. It's like driving with sunglasses on in low light. And the real financial hit isn't just the ticket. Insurance companies can deny an entire claim solely because of illegal windshield tint. A minor accident can suddenly turn into a 5-figure repair bill, even if the tint had nothing to do with the crash. So if you're considering tinting your windshield, research your local laws first, because once the lights flash behind you, it's already too late. But if windshield tint is regulated this heavily, what about your side windows? That's where things get even more confusing, and that's coming up next. Number 16. Side and rear window tint. This is where most drivers get seriously confused. Just because you see luxury cars rolling around with dark windows doesn't automatically mean it's legal for everyone. Factory-installed tint often falls under special exemptions that aftermarket tint does not. When it comes to legality, one term matters more than anything else: VLT, or visible light transmission. This refers to how much light is allowed to pass through your windows. Every state sets its own limits, and they vary more than most people realize. In many states, front-side windows must allow anywhere between 35% and 70% of light through. That means darker isn't better, it's often illegal. Rear windows usually allow darker tint, but even those have limits depending on the state. Here's the real problem. Tint shops will install whatever darkness you ask for. Legal or not, they don't care. Once you get pulled over, you're the one holding the ticket, not them. Police officers carry tint meters that instantly measure VLT. If your windows fail the test, there's no debate. First-time fines usually range from $100 to $300. In some states, illegal tint is considered a moving violation, which means points on your license. I once had a customer who ignored multiple tint tickets. After the 3rd stop, his license was suspended for 6 months. Dark windows weren't worth losing his daily commute. If you want privacy without legal trouble, removable window shades are a safer option. But when it comes to visibility, tint isn't the only thing drivers push too far. Next up, a lighting mod that looks aggressive but can turn deadly at night. Number 15. Smoked headlights and taillights. Smoked lights look aggressive, clean and modern, and that's exactly why so many drivers install them. Some even claim they protect headlights from UV damage. But here's the reality. In most states, they're illegal for a very good reason. Even lightly smoked covers can reduce light output by 20 to 30%. During the day, that reduction might not seem like a big deal. At night, in rain or fog, it absolutely is. That lost visibility can be the difference between stopping in time and hitting someone. I once witnessed a rear-end collision in heavy rain where the driver behind simply didn't see the smoke tail lights ahead of him until impact. Thankfully, no one was injured, but if that had been a truck instead of a sedan, the outcome could have been tragic. Police officers are trained to spot aftermarket light covers instantly. Tickets usually range from $150 to $400, and that's before you pay to remove the illegal parts. Some states even require a follow-up inspection to prove you fixed it. If you like the darker look, your safest option is DOT-approved housings designed specifically for your vehicle. They preserve legal brightness while still offering a more aggressive appearance. Unfortunately, DOT approval won't save you from the next lighting violation, because the next one crosses from illegal straight into criminal. Number 14. Aftermarket colored headlights. If you're driving in the United States, the rules here are extremely clear. Forward-facing headlights are only allowed to be white or amber, that's it. No blue, no purple, no green, and definitely no red. Those colorful headlights you see online or on social media. Every single one of them is illegal on public roads. This isn't just about style, it's about safety and identification. Colored lights can blind oncoming drivers and confuse other motorists. Even worse, blue and red lighting is reserved exclusively for emergency vehicles. Using them can lead to serious charges, including impersonating law enforcement. I've seen drivers learn this the hard way. One California driver installed blue-tinted HID bulbs because they looked luxury. He got pulled over twice in the same week. On the second stop, the officer impounded the car and suspended his license on the spot. Even so-called ice blue bulbs aren't safe. They might appear white in daylight, but at night or in rain they clearly show blue, and officers know exactly what to look for. If you want to stay legal, stick to bulbs in the 3000 Kelvin to 6000 Kelvin range in white or amber only. They provide excellent visibility without attracting unwanted attention. And speaking of attention, the next illegal accessory is something law enforcement absolutely hates seeing. Number 13. License plate covers and flippers. This one surprises no one, and still, people keep using them. Any device that obscures, alters, or hides your license plate is illegal under federal and state law. That includes tinted plate covers, reflective shields, rotating frames, and magnetic plates. These accessories exist for one reason only: avoiding tolls, cameras, and identification. Law enforcement knows this, which is why penalties are harsh. Fines typically range from $200 to $1,000, and some states can suspend your license for repeat offenses. In certain areas, officers can confiscate your plates on the spot. Even worse, modern traffic cameras instantly flag obscured plates. Flipping your plate back after passing a camera doesn't help. The violation is already recorded. These covers are sometimes tolerated at car shows or private events, but the moment you drive on a public road, they become illegal. Decorative plates belong in parking lots, not on the highway. If you want to avoid serious trouble, remove anything that interferes with plate visibility, because the next illegal accessory catches people off guard. And it's something most drivers never think could be illegal at all. Number 12. Illegal tire setups. Most drivers never imagine tires could be illegal until they get pulled over. The biggest offender here is studded tires. While they provide excellent grip on ice, their legality depends heavily on when and where you use them. Many states only allow studded tires during specific winter months. For example, some permit them from mid-October through late April. Outside that window, they're illegal, even if snow is still on the ground. Other states don't allow studded tires at all. In places like Florida or Texas, they're banned year-round, no exceptions. Officers know these rules well. Get caught outside the legal period and you're looking at fines between $75 and $300, plus mandatory removal. The reason is road damage. On warm pavement, metal studs tear into asphalt, creating grooves that damage tires and increase accident risk for everyone else. I've seen drivers forget to swap their winter tires. One customer got ticketed twice in the same spring month, plus towing fees. That extra winter traction wasn't worth the headache. And surprisingly, tires aren't the only harmless mod that can get you in trouble. Next up, a popular interior upgrade that can disable life-saving safety systems. Number 11. Aftermarket steering wheels. Custom steering wheels can look incredible, but many of them come with a serious hidden problem: airbag interference. Any modification that disables or interferes with factory safety systems violates federal motor vehicle safety standards. Some aftermarket wheels require removing the original airbag completely. The moment that happens, the car becomes illegal for street use, even if the wheel itself is high quality and professionally installed. Others block the driver's view of critical gauges or alter steering geometry. That alone can fail a safety inspection. But the biggest risk comes after an accident. If investigators determine that safety equipment was removed or disabled, insurance companies can deny your claim entirely. It doesn't matter who caused the crash, you're stuck paying out of pocket. Racing-style steering wheels belong on track cars, not daily drivers. If you want a custom look, choose wheels specifically designed for your vehicle that retain all factory airbags and controls, because the next illegal accessory claims to keep you out of trouble, but usually does the exact opposite. Number 10. Radar detectors and laser jammers. Radar detectors sit in a legal gray area. In most U.S. states they're allowed, but in Virginia, Washington, D.C., and on military bases they're completely illegal. In many other countries, they're banned outright. Even where they're legal, radar detectors often don't work the way people expect. By the time the alert goes off, you're usually already clocked. Slowing down at that point doesn't save you. Laser jammers are a different story. These devices actively interfere with law enforcement equipment, and that makes them federally illegal everywhere. Using one can result in serious penalties, including confiscation of the device and additional charges. Beyond legality, these gadgets draw attention. Officers know exactly what they look for during traffic stops. A detector on your windshield can turn a routine stop into a thorough inspection. If you want to avoid tickets, the safest method is simple: don't speed. And make sure your car doesn't scream, "Pull me over" with the next modification, because noise alone can get you cited, even when you're driving perfectly calm. Number 9. Aftermarket exhaust systems. Most cities and states enforce strict vehicle noise limits, usually between 75 and 95 decibels, measured at specific distances. Many aftermarket exhausts exceed those limits, especially cheaper, poorly designed systems. The problem isn't just volume, it's enforcement. Some areas use sound meters during traffic stops. Others rely on officer judgment. Either way, if your exhaust is noticeably loud, you're at risk. Noise complaints from neighbors can also trigger citations, even if you're driving normally. Fines typically start around $150 to $300, and repeat violations can get expensive fast. Performance exhausts can be legal if they meet noise regulations and emissions requirements. The best systems list their decibel ratings and include proper mufflers. I've had customers ignore advice and install loud systems purely for sound. 2 weeks later, they're back, ticket in hand, asking how to quiet it down. Before installing any exhaust, check local noise ordinances. What sounds great at a car meet may be illegal in residential areas, and some drivers take exhaust mods even further, which leads to one of the fastest ways to fail inspection entirely. Number 8. Straight pipes. Straight pipes are popular for one reason: maximum sound and unrestricted exhaust flow. But they're meant for track-only vehicles, not cars driven on public roads. Removing mufflers and emissions components almost always violates noise and emissions laws. Most drivers find out the hard way when it's time to renew registration or pass inspection, and suddenly the car fails instantly. One truck owner spent hundreds installing straight pipes, only to be forced to pay even more to reinstall a compliant exhaust system just to get his vehicle registered again. Straight pipes also eliminate sound dampening entirely. That means you're far more likely to attract law enforcement attention, even if you're driving responsibly. If you want better performance and sound, choose street-legal exhaust systems designed to meet emissions and noise standards. They offer real gains without risking tickets or registration issues, because when emissions rules are ignored, that's when fines jump from hundreds to thousands. Number 7. Cold air intakes. Cold air intakes promise better sound and a small performance boost, and surprisingly, they can be legal. The problem starts when they're installed the wrong way. Many aftermarket kits remove or relocate emissions components like mass airflow sensors, PCV lines, or heat shields. The intake itself usually isn't illegal. It's what gets removed during installation that causes trouble. Some kits don't maintain factory sensor positions or proper airflow calibration. That alone can violate emissions regulations and trigger inspection failure. Missing shields or modified air boxes can also push the setup out of compliance. The safest option is choosing an intake specifically engineered for your vehicle. In states like California, look for CARB certification. Every sensor should remain in its original location and function exactly as intended. Professional installation matters here. A qualified shop knows how to maintain emissions compliance while delivering the benefits you're after. But emissions violations aren't limited to gas engines, because the next one targets diesel drivers, and the fines are brutal. Number 6. Coal rolling. This one is aimed directly at diesel drivers. Coal rolling is the intentional release of thick black smoke by overfueling the engine. It's done by altering fuel maps or removing emissions equipment, and it's illegal in every state. Beyond being unsafe and environmentally harmful, many states now allow citizens to report coal rolling directly. That means you don't even need to be pulled over to get fined. Penalties can reach $4,500, and that's just the beginning. These modifications void warranties and can block registration renewal in states with emissions testing. The EPA has also stepped up enforcement. Shops advertising DPF deletes and emissions removals have been hit with multi-million-dollar fines. Drivers aren't immune either. Modern diesel emission systems are far more reliable than older designs and don't significantly hurt performance when maintained properly. Removing them creates far more problems than benefits. And as expensive as this violation is, it's still not the most shocking lighting mod on the list. Number 5. Underglow and neon lighting. Underglow lights look straight out of a street racing movie, and in some places they can be legal, but only under very strict conditions. Red and blue lights are completely banned everywhere since those colors are reserved for emergency vehicles. Even RGB systems become illegal the moment they display those colors. Some states allow white, amber, or green underglow, but often only when the vehicle is parked. Others prohibit underglow entirely, no matter the color. Officers don't care what colors your system can show. They only care what color it's displaying when they see you. One wrong setting is enough for a ticket. If you want underglow, research local laws carefully. Use systems with locked legal modes to prevent accidental violations. And while lighting can draw attention, sound can attract even more, especially when it comes from inside the car. Number 4. Excessively loud car stereos. Just like exhaust systems, car audio setups have legal volume limits. Most areas restrict stereo noise to around 50 to 70 decibels when measured from a set distance outside the vehicle. Factory systems rarely reach those limits. But high-powered aftermarket setups can exceed them easily, especially bass-heavy systems. Enforcement varies. Some cities respond only to complaints while others actively stop vehicles with loud audio. First fines usually start around $100, but repeat violations can add up quickly. Beyond tickets, loud stereos create real safety risks. Excessive volume can drown out sirens, horns, or tire noise that warn you of danger. If you're running an upgraded sound system, keep the volume reasonable in public areas. Save full-volume demos for car shows or private events. because the next modification isn't about sound or lights, it's about fire. And that's where things get serious fast. Number 3. Flame mapping. Flames shooting out of your exhaust might look incredible on social media, but on public roads, they're illegal everywhere in the US. These systems work by dumping raw fuel into a hot exhaust, creating dramatic fireballs and massive risk. Fire hazards are the obvious issue. Dry conditions, nearby vehicles, or gas stations turn this mod into a serious danger. Because of that, insurance companies explicitly exclude coverage for damage caused by flame systems. If your flames cause property damage or start a fire, you're personally liable for every dollar. Even some racetracks ban flame mapping due to safety concerns for staff and other drivers. If you want flame effects, keep them strictly for controlled environments like car shows with proper safety measures. Never use them on public roads. And while fire gets attention instantly, messing with your car's brain can quietly destroy your finances. Number 2. ECU and piggyback tuning. ECU tuning promises more power, sharper throttle response, and sometimes better fuel economy. Sounds perfect, until emissions laws enter the picture. Any tune that alters or disables emissions controls violates the Clean Air Act. It doesn't matter if the car runs better or cleaner. Federal law doesn't care about dyno results. Some tuning devices are legal only if they maintain full emissions compliance. The problem starts when drivers install aggressive maps that disable catalytic converters, oxygen sensors, or readiness monitors. Even mild tunes can be illegal if they change emissions parameters. The EPA has been cracking down hard, issuing massive fines to companies selling non-compliant software. Insurance companies are watching too. If an illegal tune contributes to engine damage, claims can be denied entirely. I've seen drivers stuck with 5-figure repair bills after insurers refused coverage. If you tune, stick to EPA-compliant, off-the-shelf maps from reputable brands. Avoid anything that deletes emissions equipment or disables warning lights. Because the final modification isn't just illegal, it's genuinely dangerous. Number 1. Illegal ride height modifications. Extreme lowering and cut springs don't just look bad, they're dangerous. These mods ruin suspension geometry, reduce braking performance, and make the car unstable during emergency maneuvers. Cut springs are especially risky. They change spring rates unpredictably, making handling inconsistent and unsafe. Extreme lowering also creates ground clearance problems that damage critical components when scraping speed bumps or driveways. Most states enforce minimum and maximum ride height laws. Vehicles outside those limits can fail inspection immediately and be banned from road use. If you want to adjust ride height, invest in proper coilovers or air suspension systems designed for your vehicle. Never cut factory components. Professional installation matters. Even quality parts become dangerous when installed incorrectly. These 17 modifications might seem minor, but they can create massive legal and financial problems. If you plan to modify your car, do it the right way, or don't do it at all. Because your suspension doesn't just control your ride, it keeps you alive.